Steeler Nation, what's happening? What's happening? Welcome back, man. Appreciate you guys taking the time to spend a little time with me. Definitely appreciate that. And we got some quick news to talk about, man. Not breaking news. It's kind of some news that we kind of, thought this may or may not be, but now it is official. Terrell Edmunds. Terrell Edmunds is no longer a Pittsburgh Steeler. A few days ago, he made a post on social media. That's the way to announce everything nowadays, alluding to the fact that he would not be returning to Pittsburgh. He kind of mentioned that the journey must go on, or the journey must come to an end, so to speak. Just talking about his journey in Pittsburgh. He thanked the organization, Steeler Nation, et cetera, et cetera. And there you have it. So we waited to see who he would sign with. And, I was really interested in see what would happen with Terrell Edmunds, whether it was with the Pittsburgh Steelers or not. Because, again, a guy like C.J. Gardner-Johnson did not get a huge contract. Again, I don't know if it's his doing or if that's just the market. But the fact that he signed a one-year deal was very interesting to me, especially with the season that he had. Plays a slightly different, safety than Terrell Edmunds. But, again, a guy like that, with the turnovers that he was able to get last year as far as interceptions, and he didn't get a huge deal. So I knew the market wasn't going to be that big. So then we find out that Terrell Edmunds signs with the Philadelphia Eagles. So, hey, shout outs to him. It looks like, they're kind of filling a little bit of a void that they had there at safety. Again, like I said, CJ and Terrell Edmunds are not the same style of safety. I don't think CJ played strong safety. If my memory serves me correctly. But again, you would obviously know that the Eagles would be in the market for a safety. They end up getting Terrell Edmunds. I don't know the numbers yet, so if you guys know that, if that information is out by the time you see this video, please put it in the comments, and share it with others who might be watching the video. But he signed with the Eagles again on a one-year deal. So it's interesting. It makes me wonder, what was the deal that the Steelers had on the table? Did they have a deal on the table? Right? Makes me wonder that the Steelers just decided they were going to go, in another direction. It makes me wonder. Some people could say they felt that way last year when they did not extend his fifth-year option. And I thought that might be the case, but then I also thought, it was going to be tough to maybe extend the fifth-year option along with extending Minka, and giving Minka his deal. So I thought maybe that was kind of a, the timing type of thing. But, if you believe that the Steelers weren't 100% sold on Terrell Edmunds as far as keeping him around, and that's the reason why he had to come back to the Steelers last year after testing the market, then I guess if you believe that, then, maybe this goes along with what you believe. However, the caveat to that is Terrell Edmunds had a solid season in 2022. Again, is he a turnover machine? He is not. Is he a ball skills guy? He is not. But what Terrell Edmunds was for the Pittsburgh Steelers is he was, solid in being a strong safety, tackling the catch. His PBUs increased. They used him very well in the run game. They used him a lot in the box, particularly with the three-headed monster that I was very much so enjoying, and hopefully I wanted to see it again, with the three safety look with KZ, Minka, and Terrell Edmunds. But now that Terrell Edmunds is gone, now that kind of puts a damper on it, and I wonder how the Steelers will address it. So I feel like right now that is another position now that we cannot overlook. The Steelers were at the Alabama Pro Day. They have a couple safeties, of course. Not to say that the Steelers would pull the trigger on a safety at 17. I don't think safety is that high of a need. It is a need, but I definitely think that the Steelers will go after a safety at some point in the draft. Whether that's the first 3 picks, first 4 picks, if you want to talk about maybe 4th round. But it is definitely worth keeping an eye on. It's worth keeping an eye on because I really do think, and I said this on my last Terrible Towel Tuesday, the Steelers obviously like the 3 safety look, right? They obviously want to play that big nickel. They've been trying to do it since Morgan Burnett, right? They were doing it with Cam Kelly. Remember that guy? So it's clear that the Steelers want to be able to play a different type of sub package, with 3 safeties. It was clear that they were going to do that when they signed KZ last year. Unfortunately, KZ didn't stay healthy, We didn't get to really see that combination until later in the season, and then we saw the dividends that it paid, right? So I really, really, really do believe that the Steelers are trying to go in that direction. What does this mean for a guy like Trey Norwood? We'll have to see. What does this mean for KZ being this, the bona fide strong safety? That's what I'm going to keep my eyes on. KZ has kind of played all over the secondary in his career. He has played strong safety. He has played more post safety. He's been that nickel backer type of guy. He's been in sub package play. He's done it all. But, I haven't really, at least me, I haven't really seen him play, like from a base defense standpoint, just in the box type of strong safety. Can he do it? Yes. KZ is a hitter. He might be smaller in stature, but that kid will hit you. You know what I mean? He will rock you. But I'm curious to see how that plays out, long term. Is he the bona fide box safety? And the reason why I keep emphasizing that is, again, we saw the Steelers do it quite often last year, whether it was rolling Minka down or keeping Terrell Edmunds in the box. That's clearly, a defensive style that they want to put out there. So, shout outs to Terrell Edmunds, man. Listen, you can't be upset with him. It is what it is. It's business. Maybe we'll never know unless Terrell Edmunds says it, but, we'll never know if there was a deal on the table from the Steelers or if they had just decided to move on. And like I said, it's complicated after looking at 2022. You wouldn't really say that he had a horrible year. So even if they decided to move on, I wonder what that deciding factor was. Or do they feel like they can replenish that talent with a rookie? Maybe perhaps they feel like they could do that with a rookie. You draft somebody, you got them on a cheap contract. You know what I'm saying? It's business comes into play. When you're not a bona fide star, like a Minka, you're not going to let him leave the building. But maybe you feel like you can backfill the play of Terrell Edmunds, whether it's with KZ and a young guy you bring in. Maybe you do it with the two-man role. So I get it, So just wanted to give you guys that quick update. Of course, also we know now that Zach Gentry signed a one-year deal, so he will be returning as tight end number 2. So I don't think tight end is as high on the list as far as when a tight end would be drafted if it were to happen in this draft. I think, re-signing him, obviously Freiermuth is your number 1. Obviously, the Steelers want to have at least 3 to 4 tight ends. You know how they kind of use Connor Haywood as a somewhat tight end. I think it takes the urgency of a tight end off the board. So definitely now, again, I'll recap the positions I think we need to look at. I still think within the first 3 picks, whether it's 17, 32, or 49, I do think there will be 2 of those picks would be defensive. One of those picks I think could very well be an offensive tackle, but I think 2 out of the 3 will be defensive. And I feel like still that it will be cornerback and or inside backer, edge, and now strong safety. So it definitely makes it interesting as far as, what to look for in the upcoming draft. So there you have it. Just wanted to share that information with you guys, man. Again, like I said, shout outs to Terrell Edmunds. He gets to continue with his career. I really wish we were able to find out why he's not with Pittsburgh. Because again, the one thing that just keeps me guessing is if it's a 1-year contract, and like I said, I don't know the money yet, but if it's a 1-year contract, it couldn't have been that much to where the Steelers weren't willing to bring him back if they wanted him back. So I really feel like what it is again, they feel like they can get that type of play from a drafted player where you get him at a cheaper contract for 4 years, if he plays that long. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. So we shall see. But definitely leave your thoughts in the comments, man. I want to see what you guys think, how you guys feel about the move, and what do you anticipate the Steelers will do to backfill that position? Does this mean a more increased role for guys like Trey Norwood, or will the Steelers go looking in free agency for a replacement, or will they be drafting someone at the safety position? But all right, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Again, before I go, I'm going to remind you guys to do this right here. Make sure you hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on those notifications. I shall catch you in the next one. Peace.